Hey friends, welcome back to another video. Nelson plays poker again. Currently had a buy-in winning session yesterday, which is pretty good. I'm just trying to ease back into things. I knew when I wanted to come back. Thanks for the comments, by the way. Just expanding on what I was saying in the comments in the last video. The reason why I was taking a while to come back was I knew it was going to be down quite a lot. So, I got up to about 200 odd, if you've been following previous videos. And then I just hit a downturn where, losing streak, plus I had a lot of distractions. Just my mental state was not there. I was very distracted, thinking about other things, and just changing my life in a way, like getting a new job. And then, so just getting my time away from the poker, just to really just focus on just getting things right. Now my schedule is pretty set. I should be able to post a video almost every day, even if it's just half an hour sessions here and there for the time being. Later in the day, do longer videos, but at this stage, looking at it probably at about, half an hour to 45 minutes, probably daily. That's probably the goal. But if I don't every day, I'll probably do it every other day, close to anyway. So thanks for the comments. Thanks for the likes. Feel free to subscribe as well. We're here for the long haul. I would have said goodbye if I was never coming back as well. So never fret. I was always going to come back. Just sometimes, you just have to make sure your head right. I was actually playing games while I was away as well. So just relaxing while getting used to a new job and, just playing your computer as well, playing computer. So I was actually enjoying, Total Warhammer 3, Civilization 6, but that's a little bit older. But City Skylines 2, getting population over 400,000 was always fun because every time with my old computer, I was getting it to about 60,000, 80,000 people. And all of a sudden, because there's so much, it's just CPU demanding, it would just slow down dramatically. And it just got really annoying. But now I'm going to computer, just always fun to see how high it got. I haven't actually bottlenecked the computer yet, so that's a good sign. But anyway, pocket fours out of position. I'm just going to call. He's deep stacked. I'm just going to check here. Maybe I'll limp out. Lead out. Sorry, we'll do a bet. Half bet. I'm just going to fold. We could also call if it was a slightly smaller bet. So it was a third bet. Probably could call. If it was diva stack, probably could call as well. It was mainly because of our stack wasn't deep enough. Anyway, so yeah, so that's the reason why I folded. No, wait, yeah, just gonna fold that one. So we're currently heading into our bankroll at the moment. So slight adjustment just as we easing into the session, which is gonna happen. So we're down 66, but it's not plus $2, so it's still 68. At the moment, it's just where it's going to happen until hopefully we get a hand and, we get to $2.30, $2.50, and then it's bonus money after that. So the faster we win a hand, the better. Like a decent hand, I'm saying like at least 30 cents. All right, do a check here. Didn't hit the 2. This is an ace and king. Ooh, actually, I'm going to bluff at this one because this like there's a dangerous card with the diamond. That's like he's got an ace now as well. So it's still a pot as well. And there could be a chance where he doesn't actually have a diamond and we're actually drawing to a better hand as well. So a little bit of a play there. But we did have, post-flop playability, especially with the lowering card as well. That the board really helped. Because you'd think if you're an ace or a king on the flop, he would have bet there. So with him just checking behind, maybe he's got an underpair. So he'd probably fold you a better hand. By the turn, we did hit the flush though. So if he didn't have a diamond, we did have the best hand. Okay, 7. Monster hand. We'll take the 4 cents. At least we're getting off the bottom now. So about $2.12 now. So that's pretty good. we're not going to be playing as much, so it means we're not as much quantity, because that means we're not going to be getting the C dollars anytime soon. Probably until the weekend, or at least when we start multi-tabling, but we're not going to be doing that anytime soon, I don't think. Or at least not this video. All right, 10-8 offsuit's trash. 8-7 offsuit is trash. Just need to make sure we fold all these bad cards out the way. King 5 is playable. 36%, 472 hands. He does play quite wide, but we're playing against the top of his range. So I'm going to fold out. Even though there was another person that called behind, it's even worse that another actual person called there as well. Because on average, the stronger hand, and we could be dominated. So, that ace, queen of hearts just destroys us. We're drawing dead. If we hit the king, someone's got ace, king, king, queen. We're just, there's too many chances of drawing dead. It's a cool behind here. Got a backdoor flush, got a gut shot as well. Actually going to bet here. If we do get a flush draw, we can actually bet again. Because then if we get a flush draw on the turn, we could actually bet there on the turn with some scare cards, especially if we got a little bit more equity as well. But there's probably nothing wrong with just checking behind and keeping his weaker range. You never know, he could be drawing as well to a weaker flush. So you don't actually fold out his weaker flushes. And then once he does hit a flush, we both hit flushes. He might think he's got a made hand and he's just drawing dead the whole time. And he will get chipped in if he's got a king high flush. So sometimes there's no worries about that. He'll just keep re-raising and then we'll just shove and get called. Probably two's going to fold there. Don't think he's going to be bluffing there a lot of the time. Okay, ace-6 offsuit. Probably just going to fold this one if someone opens up. We could 3-bet here. So if a small blind decides to bet, we could probably make a steal, but it didn't end up happening. Plus, you were short stacked as well, so it does get a bit tricky when they're short stacked. All right, for offsuit, going to fold. Even though we're on the dealer button, going to make some quick folds here. There's no point sticking around those hands with terrible hands. Queen 4 suited. Actually, going to open up. Possibly could win pre-flop here. Some of 3-bets here, we're probably just going to fold. Winning pre-flop is fine. That's the reason why sometimes people open up pretty well, 2.6 or 2.2 big blinds early on. Got a 3-bet here against the button range. Should be a bit wider. He's only 98 cents though. So he could be shoving here. But not a bad flop for 10s as well. I'm not sure if that probably means he's probably got ace king or something like that. Or he's got a marginal hand, but he's unsure that on our range, since we've probably got 26% on the table, so it could mean anything at the stage to them. Check 8 off. Check 8 suited is no good early on. Okay, fold this one. Pocket 2s. All right, let's open this one up. Doing three times the big blinds at the moment. I'm going to bet here. Should be on the tighter end of his range, but he's 38%. We'll just use position there regardless. And we need the bet here just to make sure we protect our bottom, our paired hands anyway. Because he'll fold out a lot of his ranges that he's whiffed. We could 3-bet here, but against the worst type. 5% 3-bet, 23.16. I'm going to fold here. We could argue a 3-bet there, but we don't want to get into any bad habits early on, especially while we're only about $60 in. We do not want to be going down too far, so we want to keep things reasonable. I mean, the wider your range from your 3-bet, the higher variance you get. So we want to avoid crazy variance. It's fun and games when you're actually going up in the graph. But that's why you see a lot of players, a lot of YouTubers or people that post their games, and they'll show you a beautiful graph going straight up because they're playing like, when they've got a huge win rate, it's because they're playing many hands, and they can have a short range success and it looks beautiful, but then all of a sudden they disappear like I did, but they don't come back because they've just lost everything plus more, because what their short-term variance of winning just turned around and it just turns into losing, and you lose tenfold. So you got to remember, sometimes it's, you can win twice as fast, but you can lose 4 times as fast. And there's the mental state as well. So once you move up, you put $100 into a poker site, you make 1,000 really fast, and then all of a sudden, you go up, 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 and then because you've been boasting about it so much, you lose really fast. Ignore the fact that you're losing and stay at the same levels, and then they just disappear forever because they didn't actually change. So you'll see that I've kept it. We could read that 6%. I'm just going to flat. 6% is reasonable. All right, I'm going to check here. We could call here a third bet. If he goes half bet, we could protect our jacks. I'm going to check here. If he's got his queen, we're in front. If he checks behind him, we should be okay. If he bets here again, we're in trouble. Bet's quite big. I think he's got top pair. So we could probably argue that a fold on the flop. Some people say it's pretty weak folding on the flop as well. Depends on the range as well. So he does have a tighter range. But just putting him on ace king, it's just a little bit too narrow, I'd say there. So I think we could have actually beaten him a lot. And we called behind, and we called after he bet the flop. So he bet quite big. So he'd probably put us on king queen. He might have ace king. He knows there's something wrong with our hand, or we would have full bet pre-flop. And that's probably not a bad idea, especially if we're at our jack. The king comes out and we hit the jack. All right, in the flat here, we do block aces, so I'm going to call. Really try and use position here. So if he bets here, going to call. Hopefully he checks and can try and steal the pot here. Don't have a club, that's an issue. If he bets again with folding, if he checks here, we're going to try and steal it and use position. He could have king queen as well. So now we're just going to try and use position and win the hand. Beautiful. And ace comes out as well. But it means he's got an unpaired hand. He could have had ace king, ace queen, but it's a lot harder playing out of position, because to make a call, you need a stronger hand than to make a bet. Just a rule of thumb there. A jack 5 suited, nice. Please bankroll a little bit. Let's see, 580. It's a little bit wide, 8-7 offsuit, but no one else opened. Problem is, if someone 3-bets here, we're probably not going to stop. If it's a small bet, we could probably call. Surprisingly enough, big blind didn't squeeze, but try and alternate squeeze. Squeezing, oh, no diamond. We're hoping to get a diamond. Now we're drawing to a 10. I'm going to call just because we're trying to go for a 10, but it's not great. If he raises, we're just folding. I think we can call here anyway. He could have 2 pair top hands, and we could probably 3-bet. But we're going to fold here. And plus, he could have 10-9, a lower straight as well. And probably a 2-pair hand. Queen jack, could be anything there, but we're definitely calling there. We're definitely behind there, but we're definitely calling, because if we make that hand, I think we're getting paid quite well. We just got to make sure you raise a bit on the river just to make sure you get that profit. All right, we're in position. It's not unpaired hand. Not unpaired hand. It's not unsuited hand. It's going to flat. If it was unsuited, we could probably 3-bet. Shit jack. We can call behind, but we're going to actually bet here. We need to defend the hand because there's a few cards out here. It's going to be important that we bet. If he's got queens, so be it. But we have to make sure we charge him for his draws. Okay, ace nine, so that's fine. We're not going to actually cash out. All right, beautiful. That's the first decent hand today. So chill is 76, nice. But yeah, you want to make sure you throw a bet in there on the turn because, you know, it's a dangerous board and you go, oh no, maybe he's hit the flush or maybe he's hit a straight or, you know, there's so many draws out there. You need to make sure you charge them. Even on scary boards. We've got an overpair, 11%, 9 hands. It's going to seem really tight. I'm going to fold. Seems really tight. I'm going to fold there. Seemed really tight. What do you think he's raising there? He's got a strong draw. He's got an overpair that crushes us. Could have a set, could have two pairs. I mean, the only hand that we really do crush is top pair, but is he really going to raise there with top pair? We don't have enough information. It's going to cost us a lot to be wrong there. And I think a lot of the times, I mean, the jacks is probably the bottom of our range that we want to be. He's probably the bottom of our range there to be facing against that. So ace five. 51 hands. I'm just going to let go. It's an offsuit hand, so don't think we can fall bet there, especially against the small blind range. Not everyone does play proper ranges, though, at this level. So you got to be aware of that. We could be trying to go for a steal there, but we folded, playing a little bit conservative. So keeping to the plan. 9-4. And we're not going to try and overstretch the session as well. So I have to pick up my daughter from school. So it might not be a high profit session. Pocket nines under the gun. Got position now, which is nice. 3 bets will probably call. He is short stack though, $1.56. Nice to win though. So if he's short stack 3 bet, we would have to really think about things. 7-6 offsuits folding. All right, 8-7 offsuit folding. Could probably try and steal from the button. We could probably. That's why people do bet a little bit lower, like 2 big blinds or 2.5 or 2.2. Depends just how you feel. We can call, we can raise. I think we go a flat. Keep his lower end in. All right, so we've got ace of hearts, got backdoor flush. I think we can at least call this flop. We need bet. It's not the card we wanted, so if we got another heart, we could probably bet here. We could still have him dominated. Could have ace 10 or something like that, or a king lion. So I think we're calling here. There's a lot of hands here that he might actually have. So I think we could actually have him beat. He could have king high. He just tried stealing. All right, queen high has an 8. That means we're drawing anyway, so we're drawing dead. So we still had an ace or a jack, so it wasn't terrible. And you know, sometimes they would try and steal there with the king high, queen high, even when they missed, especially trying to use position. So makes sense, make him a call. Wasn't expensive. Okay, 139 hands is quite tight with his free betting. So we're going to get a decent idea. Might actually fold him. If he four bets, we're going to fold. If he calls, we might be in good position. We are in position, but he does play quite tight. So 4%, 3 bet range, which means 4%, a 4 bet, he's going to be even tighter again. 10-9, probably a bit tight. Probably should have actually opened there. But it's a little bit marginal. Okay, we're in position. Not going to raise, he's going to call behind. Got top pair. Bets again. We just got a call. Could still have an overpair. If he checks here, we should be good. We still got one more. If he checks now, I think we can throw a bet in. He's got 22 cents. I think we can snap this off. All right, we're gonna bet he's 22. Or wet 26. I think we should be good, but it still could have overpairs. Slow playing. But since he checked, I think we should be good here. We could have him dominated. Hit the 4 on the river. What's the point of that? What's the chances of that? I mean, fire out. Okay, it just happens. I think checking behind there on the river is a little bit too tight, though, given the action. I think he just got lucky on that card. So, and he did bet. So it wasn't like he charged himself for that draw. So I think as played, I think we played well. And considering his chip stack as well, he's going to be doing a lot of calls on the river because he's going to give up a lot of the time. He's just going to say stuff it and just put the rest in. So I think even though we lost that hand, I think overall we're winning there most times. So I'm not upset about that hand at all. And for offset to go on. Pocket 7's out of position. This is interesting. 12%. 128 hands. Really tight range. More likely to call him because he's very tight. So he should be easier to play against. He should have like aces or kings or the top end of things. Okay. Pop, pop, pop. All right. Zamie's there. Pop, pop, pop's pretty wise. So he would have been good to play against. In a sense that he's probably a bit on the fishy side. Let's go call behind, try and set one from the small blind. Depending, now we've got a multi-way pot. I think we can call here as long as it's cheap. All right, I'm going to call one more. Checks behind, he hasn't got the king, I don't think. Okay, I'm going to fold. Unfortunately, and yeah, the fold comes out, but it's not ours anyways, that's fine. Got to be a little bit mindful that we're not going to be chasing a win now since we're going to be only playing a little bit of a session. So as much as I want to make sure I post a win, I don't want to force the win. So we don't want to be forcing anything there. I think we've still got another 15 minutes though, and that should be fine. But we don't want to be forcing it. If we come out for the $1 or $2, that's a bonus. If we're down $1 or $2, then so be it. But we're just trying to ease back into things, just try and post videos consistently. If you've got any questions, feel free as well. Always eager to reply to comments. Ace 9 offsuit's not great. Can't make a straight out of it. We're going to be dominated a lot of times, especially against 3-bet. 10-4, you could argue to open there. All right, we can 3-bet ace jack offsuit, especially against later position. Guess this small line gets tricky, but we got position though. Always in position, it's much easier to play. You can see the bankroll slowly going down a little bit now. It's going to be back to $2 again. Also, remember when I was playing 4 tables, 2-0, you'd see that about probably 2 to 3 of the 4 tables I'd be winning on, and there's one table I'd be struggling on. So there's a chance I'm on that table where I could be just things not happening for me as well. But we're going to make sure we fold out. Queen 9 suited's a playable hand. It's pretty fun. Just not early position though. I mean, it really takes a lot of discipline to fold there. I think in the past I was really opening up too wide, and that was probably one of the hands that was getting me in a lot of trouble. We just want to stay consistent to what we were trying to go for, and that's just trying to stick to a bit of a tighter range, trying to be more disciplined, avoid some crazy variance for this time being, and just ease into things. I mean, it's another thing story when you up against the cutoff 3-betting because they're a lot wider, but then it depends. So depending on the cutoff range. Like if the wider they are, the wider you can three bet. I get a call. We do have top pair. We could donk this and protect, but all right, the bed's gonna call. If it was an ace, I could have probably bet here as well. It's very weird hand. Maybe he's got ace high, hopefully. He could have hit though. There's a lot of in this range. We had it dominated. We had him dominated, but yeah, pre-flop. All right, gonna open up ace 8-7. A little bit wide though. It's a fun hand to play, but I reckon I was thinking about it earlier today. Sometimes I think random poker stuff during the off times, and one of those scenarios was, I was thinking about the ace two hands, especially offsuit, and thinking whites it's a terrible hand because the flop or the board goes out 3, 4, 5, and then this is the reason why 6-7's pretty good, because if you got 6-7, you got the biggest straight against the ace too. So you can definitely win some money against that. And that's the reason why ace 2 is not good in this scenario. And so when you look at a lot of charts and you'll see that ace 2 is not playing, that's one of the reasons why. And that's why you play ace 2 against like a Fisher type player. It's more likely to hit the wheel and pay you off. Especially when you've got like suited connectors that make the upper straight. All right, pocket sixes. We got position. You get a call. If we hit a 6 and the ace king come out, would have been nice, but depending the size of the bet here, the bet's too big. Plus, we're not deep stacked as well. So we're not priced in the call. If we had a deeper stack there, we could probably argue the call there. And that's fine. But we can't. It was too big a bet. And that's what he was probably going for, because you want to have people that call, that are drawing, or he's got people dominated. Well, he didn't have us dominated, but all right, got a gut shot. Gonna bet this one. Got position as well. Plus, we had a backdoor flush. And if we hit the gut shot, would have been very interesting. We could have possibly, like if he had queen 8 or something like that, something crazy, he could have had, could have paid us off there. So that's the reason why I would make the bet there, just so we build the pot up. And to disguise straight as well. And sometimes they'll have, I'm going to call here and defend Jack 7. Can I get a check raise? We do have flush and top pair. We could be also dominated. We've got a bit quite big though. All right, continue the aggression. And boom. The ace on the river could have actually bluffed the river as well. It's one of the scenarios we could have bluffed. Scare card, especially if you've got kings or queens or something like that, or he's got, the ace comes out. It's such a scary card. We played it very strong. It looks like we're not scared of the ace, but we're just playing the ace. And that was pretty much a semi-bluff because we had the flush draw as well, so we did turn our hand into a bluff. All right, small blind, fold this one. Because the problem is if you call behind there and then the big blind raises, then you're going to be folding. And if you call, you're going to be out of position, possibly in a multi-way pot. And also, late position, 4 bets to 3 bet. You get caught up in the middle and then you're in a sandwich and it's just very, very ugly. You just don't want to be in that situation. So you fold out of that situation. Small. That's why the small blind you want to get out of a lot of those scenarios. All right, open here, try and steal, but beautiful. All right, Queen 10 suited. Decent hand. Gonna raise that. Just because I've got position here, try and isolate, but do have king in our range. And we've got position as well. Plus we had a 10 and backdoor flush as well. And we didn't go too crazy. We did raise, like I know we did 3-bet, but it was very small. So it gave us a little bit of an edge. But we weren't wasting too much as well. So we could easily get into default to letting hands, and they could be still quite loose there. We weren't really in that tight. But against his range, maybe he thought we're a lot tighter than what we were. So we're making a play. Hopefully he folds. 6%. Oh, but only 16 hands, so it's fine. Sometimes they take a bit of time because they're playing multiple tables. All right, pocket twos. Be nice to make a set before the end of the session. Code 2 didn't come out after everyone folded. Now, I'm going to open here. Could argue to fold pre-flop though. Okay, I got an open ender. Backdoor flush. We're betting here as well. If he bets, I'm going to call behind. Or we can go a free card as well. We'll get the free card. Not what we wanted. Yeah, not what we wanted. And we'll probably draw him dead if he's got diamonds, but just not what we wanted. And the thing is though, if you try and bluff in that spot, you've got the hand that you want your opponent to have. And because you got the hand that you draw, you're the one drawing, trying to raise against him. He's probably got the made hand and you've got the drawing hand. Where if you've got the other way around, then he's got the drawing hand, he will fold. But he'd have the made hand that time. And hopefully that makes sense. All right. Queen Jack. I'm going to fold that one. That's a little bit tight. But we're folding. I mean, in Queen Jack offsuit, you could probably argue the 3-bet there, but against someone with an earlier range, there's no point. Going to call him. We do have position. Got a almost a with a backdoor straight or something like that. A backdoor gut shot. That's not great. We're going to try and steal it now. Also, we do have a flush draw. So if he does call, we can still make a flush. So it's not the end. All right, so we use position there. There's a semi-bluff as well. If you don't know what a semi-bluff is when you've got equity in your hands pretty much. You know, got a drawing hand and you've got potential to make a better hand. But you actually have nothing in your, you actually have nothing, like no pairs typically, but you're drawing to a flush, drawing to a straight, or you know you've got a weaker hand to what you're representing. So it turns into a bluff. Ace check. Backdoor, but it's expensive. I'm going to fold. Oh, we hit the jack though. But still question mark because it wasn't necessarily the best hand. Could have argued the call though. But now I'm just being biased because we saw the jack. So I think we made a good fold. We were a little bit deeper, so you could have argued to call there as well. Haven't hit the 9, multi-way pot. I'm not going to bluff at it. There's a chance that someone's actually got us beat. You know, 10s, jacks, queens are probably out there. Someone's got a king or a weak king. Queens, jacks, 10s. we're not going to find out, unfortunately, but he's going to have something there. And I don't think nines were strong enough. Okay, A7's gone. Back 9. All right. Gotta make this one the last hand. I gotta go, unfortunately. Gonna bluff this one. He didn't 3-bet, so that means his range is a little bit loose. So there you have it. All right, guys. Sorry about being short, but I gotta go pick up the daughter now. I'm just trying to get a couple of sessions under my belt before we go multi-table and try and go a little bit more longer as well. At this stage, let me know in the comments. More than happy to reply. If you like the videos as well, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. See you guys. Bye.